Trump met with a war criminal. It's two war criminals meeting in the fucking White House. And we know this because Trump tweeted out a fucking war crime, a video of a goddamn war crime the other day. And Benjamin Netanyahu has an actual arrest warrant for war crimes issued by the ICC, which the United States doesn't acknowledge anyway. But we're going to watch a little bit of this. This is a 50-minute long fucking meeting. Is he actually there the entire time? Jesus Christ, dude. Donnie loves to speak. Let's watch some of this. If it gets too impossible to listen to, we're going to fucking speed up the video. But real quick, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. We make these videos live. I am live right now. That's why you can see the chat. If you hit that notification bell, you'll know when we go live, and you could be included in this operation. On top of that, this is real independent media. I have no funding. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser or a billionaire or a foreign government. So if you do want to help the channel out financially, there's a handful of ways you could do it. You could just donate money straight in the chat or in the comment section. You could buy some of the Valenti Videos merch down below. You could use a 40% off discount on Ground News in the description down below. You can become a member to the YouTube channel for $5, which gives you early access to these videos. And last but certainly not least, you can become a patron on Patreon for $5. Big shout out to all of my patrons. Big shout out to anybody who has donated money. That helps this channel go on. It helps me pay my fucking rent. Pays for the new computer that we fucking need because this shit is not working out. But regardless, let's dive right in and let's watch Trump and Netanyahu hold a meeting in the Oval Office.
Special person. I've dealt with him for a long time. Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel. And we had lunch together. We had meetings together.
We had lunch together.
Along with his staff. And I think we've come up to some pretty good solutions and conclusions. And we'll be working a little bit after this. And then I assume you're going back home.
Yes, sir.
This is a quick stop, in and out. But we appreciate you being here. And we are a friend of Israel, as you know. I would say.
As you know, I put on the hat and I kiss the wall. You know I love Israel. You know I do. You know I do. I bomb the Houthis for you. I'll do anything for you.
That I'm by far the best president that Israel has ever even thought of seeing. And
actually, I would say Joe Biden was the best president that Israel's ever seen. Joe Biden fucking gave them hundreds of millions of dollars to fund a genocide, and he did not ask for a dollar back. There was no plan for them to fucking give us that money back, even without interest. No plan.
It's an honor to be so, and to be so thought of. Many friends in Israel. They are not in an easy area. It doesn't go easy, but we are helping them. And likewise, they've been helping us very much. And so we'll see how it all works out. But we had great discussions.
How is Israel helping us in any way other than, like, probably militarily doing, like, secret fucking operations? You know, with, what are they called? God damn it. What's the fucking name of the goddamn Israeli secret force? Somebody in chat. It's on the tip of my tongue. Not the fucking IDF. Mossad!
Today, I think, on the obvious subject of Iran, and also the less obvious subject with respect to Israel, and that's trade. And I think the Prime Minister is going to tell you a little bit about trade and what they're doing for the United States. So I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you very much. And
thank you.
Benjamin, thank you very much.
Oh, he's trying to pull the hand. He's trying to pull the hand, but
thank you, Don.
Ben knows. BB knows!
Mr.
You
President,
ain't pulling
I
that
want
hand.
to first thank you for inviting me again to...
They're in a fucking... They're in a war criminal off right now. That handshake was like, who? I'm the fucking war criminal. No, I'm the war criminal. No, I'm the fucking war criminal. No, I'm the fucking war criminal.
White House, you've been a remarkable friend of the state of Israel.
Austin Horn just became a loyalist. Thank you very much, Austin. Let's get some W. Austins.
You stand by us. You're standing with us. You are a great, great champion of our alliance. And you actually do the things that you say you do, and I think that people respect that.
He does the things he says he does. Brother, he said he would end your fucking genocide on day one. Didn't do it. Said he would end the war in Ukraine within 24 hours. Didn't do it. Said he was going to lower the price of goods in the United States. Fucking raised them. The fuck do you mean? What are you talking about?
Enormously.
Unless, you know what it is? They had those meetings in Mar-a-Lago before the inauguration. Guarantee you Trump told them, like, listen, Bibi, listen, my sweet, sweet Bibi, if you allow me to be the president, if you participate in my election, then I will give you all the bombs you need.
I certainly do, and the people of Israel do, and I think the Jewish people do as well. We just saw your representative in the Department of Justice fighting anti-Semitism, standing up for Israel in international forums. I just want you to know from the heart, it's deeply, deeply appreciated. As you said, we had the opportunity to talk today about...
You think that's a hairpiece? Low-key, I think that's probably a fucking hairpiece, right? You think he's like bald? I'm trying to imagine him fully fucking bald, and I'm having a hard time doing it.
Many subjects. First, if I can mention tariffs.
Bro, Hamas pulled the October 7th stunt. What the fuck did you expect to happen? I wouldn't call that a stunt. I would call that like a heinous act of mass murder. Yeah, what Hamas did on October 7th was absolutely abhorrent. Do you know how many fucking people Israel has killed so far in Palestine? Like 200,000. Insulting world leaders now. Wow, by the way, dude, I don't know if you know this, but the International Criminal Court has an arrest warrant out for Benjamin Netanyahu for being a war criminal. If I can't insult a war criminal's hairpiece, then what the fuck else do you want to take from me? You can't have my dog. You can't have my cat. The fuck?
It's a subject of some interest today. I can tell you that I said to the president a very simple thing. We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily. And I think Israel can serve as a model for many countries who ought to do the same. I recognize the position of the United States. It says, you know, we're allowing other countries to put tariffs on us, but we don't put tariffs on them. And, you know, I'm a free trade champion, and free trade has to be fair trade. And I think that's basically the position that you've put forward, Mr. President. We are going to eliminate the tariffs, and rapidly. I had the opportunity.
I struggle to understand what, like, the modern misconception is with tariffs. Because what he's saying, what Bibi is saying, is he's like, we're going to lift the tariffs that we have. Thank you for the floating hearts. We're going to lift the tariffs that us, Israel, he's saying, we're going to lift the tariffs that Israel has on American goods, right? Now, all that does is lower the price of American goods for Israeli consumers. For the Israeli citizens that are buying American goods, it lowers the price of those goods, right? So I don't understand how an American can hear Netanyahu say that and go, oh, that's going to help me, because it's not. What would help you is if Netanyahu's action by doing that made Trump drop or lower the tariffs on Israeli goods. That way, if you're one of the few people that are buying Israeli goods, your goods don't have an increased price because there's a fucking tariff on it. I genuinely struggle to understand what the logic is in the conservative brain for this. And it's not like tariffs in and of itself are a bad thing. Targeted tariffs work. Trump proved this to us in 2017. He put targeted tariffs on Chinese washing machines, okay? And you know what ended up happening? The American washing machine industry fucking skyrocketed because the price of Chinese washing machines got too high. I'm gonna burp. Ugh, small burp. More of a scream. But that's not the point. When you put a blanket tariff on every single good that is imported into the United States from every single nation on earth, and we don't yet have the manufacturing for those goods, all you are doing is increasing the price of goods for the American consumer until this hypothetical unknown time where manufacturers across the planet pack up shop, move to the United States, buy a plot of land, build a fucking factory, hire thousands of American workers, and then make enough money to be tradable on the American stock market. That is fucking years down the line. Years down the line. And hypothetical.
To speak to Secretary Lutnick yesterday, we talked about how we could effect this quickly, and I hope to bring the solution very quickly. We're not talking about intentions. We're not talking about just words. We're talking about results. And those results are going to come. That's the first.
Thank you very much. It's very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, what about the hostages here?
Well,
What about the hostages?
Let him
I
finish.
didn't finish. I'm going to begin. We spoke about not only the hostages, but about Gaza. The hostages obviously is a human story of just unbearable agony. I speak to the families. I spoke to them yesterday. Spoke to another one when I was in Hungary before I came here.
I often wonder why Trump constantly sits in the same position, this like weird shrimp style position. I mean, I don't know if it's just like his body type, but personally, I feel like this doesn't give off strength. Like if he leaned back, maybe. I don't fucking know.
I speak to them every day. They're in agony. The hostages are in agony, and we want to get them all out. Steve Witkoff.
By the way, while we're on the topic of hostages, this guy bombed his own hostages. Like, there were hundreds of Israelis that were taken hostage by Hamas. I think now it's down to like 50-something. But many of the hostages that were taken by Hamas were literally blown to smithereens by the IDF. It's fucking crazy.
President Trump's very able representative helped us get a deal that got 25 out. We're working now on another deal that we hope will succeed. And we're committed to getting all the hostages out, but also eliminating the evil tyranny of Hamas in Gaza and enabling the people of Gaza to freely make a choice to go wherever they want. I mean, they should have that choice. And the president put forward a...
Listen, I'm just going to say something that I hope you guys don't consider to be absolutely insane. But listen, the Palestinian people, by and large, do not want Hamas to be their government. I don't support Hamas. But I do think that the best way for you to give, like he's saying, give the Palestinian people a chance to create their own government, right, would probably be to stop giving Hamas a leg to stand on, right? Because every bomb you drop on the Palestinians, every civilian you kill makes Hamas have more legitimacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want the people in Palestine to support Hamas, maybe stop the genocide. Maybe don't violate the ceasefire this time. Maybe give the people a chance, and then say you had like a fucking year-long ceasefire, and then Hamas violates the ceasefire, and you got concrete evidence that it was them, then you got a fucking leg to stand on. You know, like, hypothetically, if Benjamin Netanyahu came out and he said, listen, as of today, we are stopping the genocide in Gaza, and we are starting a permanent ceasefire, and I give you my word right now that if any IDF soldier violates this ceasefire, that not only did they do this against my orders, but they will be punished to the extent of the law. On another note, if Hamas decides to violate this ceasefire, then the war will continue. If he said something like that, I'd be like, okay, that's something you could fucking work with. You know what I'm saying? That's something you could fucking work with. But this fucking ain't. I hope that doesn't sound insane. I hope that's not an insane mindset.
Vision, a bold vision, which we discussed as well, including the countries that might be amenable and are amenable to accepting Palestinians of their free choice if they choose to go there. And I think that's...
I do just want to comment on one comment real quick. This guy, Mario G. David, said, they use AI to get the terrorists. Do you really think the Hamas uses any tool or that they randomly target people? Hamas doesn't have access to AI. But notice how you're aware that the IDF, Israel, uses AI targeting systems to find these terrorists. And yet, 200,000 civilians have been killed. Even though the Israelis have access to like the top tier technology, they have nuclear weapons, they got satellites in space, they are still managing to slaughter hundreds of thousands of people. It's, listen, I don't know.
The second thing that we discussed, but the hostages came right on top. We also discussed the situation in Syria. We've had neighborly relations with Turkey that have deteriorated, and we don't want to see Syria being used by anyone, including Turkey, as a base for attacking Israel.
Turkey would never in a million fucking years attack Israel. Why? Because Turkey is the second largest army in NATO. Turkey is like an American extension. That's like the equivalent of fucking America attacking Israel. Never in a million fucking years would the Turkish government attack Israel. Dude, oh my God, Turkey's gonna watch Turkey attack Israel in like 6 months, and this fucking video just goes viral.
Turkey is
that clip.
A country that has a great relationship with the United States. The president has a relationship with the leader of Turkey. We discussed how we can avoid this conflict in a variety of ways, and I think we can't have a better interlocutor than the president of the United States for this purpose. And of course, we also discussed Iran. Look, we're both united in the goal that Iran does not ever get nuclear weapons.
I agree.
It can be done diplomatically in a full way, the way it was done in Libya. I think that would be a good thing. But whatever happens, we have to make sure that Iran does not have nuclear weapons.
So that would be a good start. If Iran did not ever get nuclear weapons, that's a good start. The next step after that would be to take away Israel's nuclear weapons. Because it is a really bad idea for any sort of theocratic nation, any sort of religious theocracy to have access to a nuclear weapon. Especially if your laws are based on a fucking book and your religion and you think you're sent by God. That's an incredibly dangerous conversation. It's an incredibly dangerous combination to allow somebody who's a fucking religious zealot to have access to a nuclear weapon.
That's the end of my speech.
Mr. President, can you explain to us what is your...
That's the end of Netanyahu's speech? That's 5 minutes. This is a 50-minute long video. How fucking long does Mango Mussolini have to talk?
Having direct talks with... Wait. We're having direct talks with Iran. And they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can.
The obvious is fucking World War III. That's what you're saying. No, Donald, do not start World War III. Luigi, do res, likiri. Fucking doggy. I don't know if you guys can even hear her barking. Can you? Let me check my mic. You can.
Avoid it, so we're going to see if we can avoid it.
Come here.
But it's getting to be very dangerous territory, and hopefully those talks will be successful, and I think it would be in Iran's best interest.
1 second. Luigi, kommen Sie hier vielleicht? Achtung, komm. Bosser Hund. Nein, Bosser Hund. All right, there she goes. All right.
If they are successful, we hope that's going to happen. And we had just a lot of good talks on a lot of things. I appreciate very much what you said about the tariffs. We've been ripped off and taken advantage of by many countries over the years, and can't do it anymore. Just can't do it anymore. We can't be the stupid people anymore. And it's
What does
all
he mean by
because
ripped
of-
off? Because when Israel puts tariffs on us, it's not like us, the American population, have to pay that tariff. That is a charge that goes onto the Israeli consumer. This is what we covered earlier.
the people that sat in the seat right here, not your seat, but this seat. They allowed things to happen to our country that they shouldn't have allowed to happen on trade and other things, many other things. I mean, look at what's happened with our last president, where he allowed millions of people to come into our country with an open border. Who would want an open border? How stupid is that? But he allowed millions and millions of people, and of the millions, and I think it was 21 million people, but let's say 3 of them were serious criminals, serious murderers and drug dealers and gang members and people from jails. All the jails emptied out right into our country, right along the open border on Mexico, generally the Mexico. They came in from Canada too, by the way, a lot. But generally speaking, on the southern border. And what a shame it is that we are now working very hard to get them out, get the criminals out, get the murderers out, the drug dealers, the mentally insane, get them out. They dropped the mentally insane in our country too. And this was all done.
Again, guys, he's been claiming this for like 4 years. There's never been a single shred of evidence that other nations are emptying out their prisons and mental asylums to send those people to the United States. Never once has he been able to provide a shred of evidence of this claim.
Done by the Biden administration. It's a disgrace that we have to work so hard. And then we have judges that try and protect these people, but they didn't protect us when the people were being let in. But to get them out is never easy with these people. So I think we're doing a great job.
Hear that last part he just said? He has a problem with federal judges that are doing their job. A judge is not on the side of you, Trump, or the immigrant that you're trying to deport. The judge is on the side of the law. There are lawyers who are then involved defending the undocumented immigrant, and there is a prosecuting lawyer, a prosecutor, who would be charging them with the crime. Now, Trump has already signed 2 executive orders that directly target law firms that have defended people the Trump administration has targeted. So now we're reaching the point where not only is Trump targeting federal judges who I guess just don't agree with his fucking mindset, and he's targeting law firms that defend people he targets. It's going to get to the point where people are not even going to be able to get a lawyer to defend them, nor will they be able to find a judge to hear the fucking case. It's unbelievable.
The border is the best it's ever been. It's even as strong as it was. I had a great, solid border. I think it might even be tougher right now and stronger. So people are coming into our country, but they're coming in legally. We have a legal process, and we have that moving along properly, because we need people to come into our country, but we want people that can love our country and cherish our country. So that's where we are. And with that, any questions?
Mr. President, European Union back into the markets today, and would you be open to a pause in tariffs to allow for negotiations?
Well, we're not looking at that. We have many, many countries that are coming to negotiate deals with us, and they're going to be fair deals. And in certain cases, they're going to be paying substantial tariffs. There'll be fair deals.
What do you mean they're going to be paying substantial tariffs? I know this is the 3rd time I've covered this, but I genuinely don't think Donald Trump understands tariffs. The other nations don't write us a check for the amount of money that we're charging the tariffs on their imports. I pay the check. You pay the check. The American consumer pays the fucking bill. What does he think happens when he puts a tariff on fucking foreign goods? I'm pretty sure there's even some MAGA in the chat who understand how the tariffs work. You understand it.
As you know, I spoke this morning with the Prime Minister of Japan, and we had a very good conversation. They're coming. And I said, one thing, you're going to have to open up your country, because we sold no cars, like 0 cars in Japan, and they sold millions of cars into our country.
That's because they make cars. The United States doesn't make a single car that is 100% made with domestic parts. There's no such thing as an American car, Donald. Even manufacturers like Tesla or Ford or General Motors, they ship parts from other nations to make the car here, brother. We don't make cars here.
They don't really take our agriculture, a little bit of it, just to keep us slightly happy, but...
What fucking our soybeans? What do you think, we got rice paddies?
They don't take what they're supposed to be taking. So we have a great relationship with Japan. We're going to keep it that way, but they're coming in to meet, and other countries are coming in. With China, as you know, against my statement, they put a 34% tariff on above what their ridiculous tariffs were already. And I said, if that tariff isn't removed by tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we're putting a 50% tariff on above the tariffs that we put on. So they've gone for
50% above what we put on them. What did we put on them? 34. So you want to put an 84% tariff on Chinese goods when we get fucking everything from China? Brother, 90 for, like, what, like, Master Chief, where are you made? Where are you made, Master Chief? China! Made in China! Here's my Chinese air conditioning that I keep on sucking on. Fucking China! Fucking, I don't know, fucking Spain. But what the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about?
84? Years they've become a rich country because of people, again, that were in the White House that allowed this to happen. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year they'd make on us on trade, and it shouldn't be that way. And I have a great relationship with President Xi. I hope it's going to stay that way.
Bro,
I have great
my fucking Rose toy that I have in right now is made in China.
respect for China, but they can't do this. We're going to have one shot at this, and no other president's going to do this, what I'm doing. And I'll tell you what, it's an honor to do it, because we have been just destroyed. What they've done to our system. You know, we have $36 trillion of debt for a reason. And
I think he's slowly losing his mind. This is crazy to watch. Wow. You know, the left, man, they're like, they're trying to criminalize comedy, like legalize comedy, bro. I mean, I'm living the meme, bro. You know, like, legalize comedy.
The reason is that people allowed it to get that way. So we'll be talking to China. We'll be talking to a lot of different countries. And I think, you know, if we can make a really fair deal and a good deal for the United States, not a good deal for others. This is America first. It's now America first. And we didn't put America first. We put America last. The people that were in the Oval Office put America last, and we're not going to stand for it. Yeah.
Talks with Iran.
Two questions. Do you expect any of these deals to be made before April 9th? And secondly, there have been some mixed messages from your administration. You're talking about negotiations, and yet others in your administration are saying that these tariffs are actually permanent. What is the action?
Well, it could be. They can both be true. There can be permanent tariffs, and there can also be negotiations. Because
How can it be? Oh, well, I guess he could put permanent tariffs on some countries and negotiate with others.
Because there are things that we need beyond tariffs. We need open borders. You know, we almost had a deal with China where we're going to open up China. It was almost done. Some of you remember it during my first term. And it was very disappointing. We ended up making a great deal. $50 billion worth of product was sold. $50 billion. You'd like that in Israel. And I made that deal, but it wasn't the deal that I wanted. It was the deal that I wanted was that plus they're going to open up China so that our companies could go into China and compete with other countries and China for the...
So you just wanted to ship... Did he just admit that he wanted to ship more manufacturing to China? When he's talking about, like, bringing manufacturing back to the U.S., how can it possibly be both? How could you... This is fucking nuts. This is fucking nuts. This is going to go on for another 40 goddamn minutes. So, for the people who are watching this pre-recorded, for the people who are watching the YouTube video, I'm going to cut it here. You've seen plenty. The real meat and potatoes was what fucking Netanyahu had to say. But, listen, before you go, let me remind you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It helps me a lot. It costs you nothing. If you do want to help the channel financially, because this is independent media, there's a bunch of ways you could do it. You fucking know the ways to do it. I'm not going to repeat them again. So I'm going to cut the video here. If you're watching this live, stay. The live stream is not ending, but the video is. Thank you!